Hi there, this is Fibro Jedi, also known as LOTRO Family on Twitter, and this is the second in my new series on Beornings in LOTRO. In the first episode, we went through all the options when creating your new Beorning, and I settled on creating a male one for that episode. Sadly, when I went to record the second one, I ended up with some frame rate issues that meant it was very, very choppy. I think I have solved those now, but has meant I've created a new female Beorning on a different server so that we can still go through the intro session together. So I'm not going to go through all the options, but this is Ezilv, my new female Beorning. Say hello. What I'm going to do now is we're going to take you through the intro session for the Beorning, and we'll go through what the quests are that you will face and get to grips with how the human form and bear form work. So although I have had a bit of time to get used to it myself, we're still pretty much learning together, so please do join me.
In the vales of the Anduin, the children and grandchildren of Beorn live a rustic and peaceful life. Soon they too will need to face the shadow that threatens all of Middle-earth.
There we go, that was your intro voice there, facing the shadow. For anyone who is fairly new to LOTRO, Shadow of Angmar is the effective Eriador storyline. So, if you've never started a Beorning before, you may be used to the elf starting region up in North Eredluin, or the hobbit starting area and human starting area out in Archet. Beornings have this fairly small but very pretty starter area around Grimbeorn's house, Grimbeorn being the effective tribal leader at this point. But as you can see, it's really pretty around here, lots of nature going on, which fits the fact that you are an outdoors, you are at one with the wilds of nature yourself. What I'm going to do, I'll take you through, and I'll be reading what dialogues are presented to you, and we'll just go through some of these starter bits together. So let's get started.
The blood of the skin changer flows within us.
So we get to meet Sturkist. You'll be speaking to him in a little bit during this. And he says, "How many afternoons have we spent this way, Ezilv? Once the work is done and our chores finished, it seems every day sees us staring out at the pond of Grimbeorn, our elder, thinking airy thoughts." Sturkist sighs, as he often does on such afternoons, and scratches idly at his arm. "You are my sister, Ezilv, and we keep no secrets from each other. Is this all we have a right to expect? The blood of the skin changer flows within us and must move us to greater deeds than this." So we're not just designed to be out in the fields and thinking airy thoughts. We should be fighting. Are we not descended from Grimbeorn and from Beorn before him? You know we are. That is a proud heritage, one claimed by only few. Few can do what we can, Ezilv. Why does Grimbeorn insist that we stay near our home? Oh look, wait a moment, who's that? Let's have a go, let's go see. Oh look, it's Radagast. Perfect for the people who are out in the wilds. Some cubs do not know when to keep their silence. Because we're not old, we are referred to as cubs. That's lovely, isn't it? Now, why would a wizard come here?
Something serious must have happened to draw Radagast here.
I've only seen Radagast once or twice, and that was when we were very young. Do you remember? We were very small then, and he was kind to us, but I do not think he enjoyed leaving his home in Mirkwood. Something serious must have happened to draw him here, my sister. I will sniff around the lodge and see if I can overhear any conversations with our sire. And you should talk to Varthmath at the animal pens. Our cousin talks little, but he hears much. He might know something. Okay, let's go speak to this person. What would be good at this point to point out is when you end up fighting, and I'll show you this in action shortly, is that your main ability bars, which is normally this first row along the bottom here, when you change into bear form later, these swap around so that your bear form abilities become your main abilities, and when you skin change back to human form, then they will come back to being those abilities that are only available in human form. I'm going to move this over here just so that I know where my skin change is. I'm not used to 1 not being an aggressive action. Okay. Let's go speak to Varthmath then.
What brings you hither, cousin?
You tell Varthmath that Radagast the wizard has left Mirkwood and is speaking with Grimbeorn, and that you hope he might have heard why. Varthmath responds with a brusque snort. I know what brings him here, his own business. If it becomes a concern of ours, Grimbeorn will let us know. Until that time you should mind your own matters. Even better, you should make yourself useful to me. One of our milk cows has wandered from the pen. Find her before she gets outside the surrounding wall, and tell her to return. Such is the starting life of a hero. Our first task is to go find a cow. Go figure. Okay, although my frame rate is not appalling, it could do better. But I think that's because there's a lot of frills in this very pretty starter region. And here's our milk cow. You approach the milk cow and she lows nervously. Something has caused her distress. What could it be? When you were young, you developed the ability to understand many of the animal languages, a gift of your ancestor Beorn. You call upon this natural facility now to speak gently reassurance to the milk cow. Before long, her calm returns and she begins to move slowly back to her pen. Yeah, so she does. Oi, Ezelf, what are you doing? Awful moth.
I fear you have grown soft.
Has it come to this, Ezilv? Do you serve those lazier than you, fetching lost cows and running errands? Offalmoth laughs harshly. You are of Beorn's line, as am I, but I have not forgotten what that means. To you it means little. We should live our lives with ferocity, seizing each moment with tooth and claw. No one is my master. I fear you have grown soft, Ezilv. Only by harnessing your wrath in battle can you truly live to your heritage. Prepare yourself for battle, and test your skills against me. So, here we go. The aim of when you are fighting as a Beorning is you need to build up wrath. So, where in... I'll just move this down here. Where in previous classes you would have health and then, say, power down here, you don't have a resource that diminishes like power. Instead you have a resource that increases called Wrath. So you have your health points, but you've also got Wrath. Wrath is developed through use of aggressive abilities. So we've got Slash here, which says adds 5 to Wrath. And we've got Slam here, which adds 10 to Wrath. Slash has a 1 second cooldown, so it can be used pretty quickly. Slam currently has a 3 second cooldown, so you just have to watch your cooldowns here. Once you've built up Wrath, you can then turn into bear form. Turning into bear form costs you 5 Wrath, so there's no point skin changing until you've got a decent amount of Wrath built up in there. So let's fight Offalmoth.
Like us. That is why I test you as I do.
The legacy of Beorn is rare and dwindling. If you remember when we created the character, it says we are few in number, and so I think we've got a -7 fate, something like that. We must use it to be the strongest of his children and his grandchildren. As we do battle, the wrath fills our hearts and drives us with great ferocity, empowering the skills we use in combat. Let our foes beware. They tangle with the line of Beorn at their peril. Here we go. Practice your abilities against the Sickleflies. So the aim we have to do here is to joyously move from sending a cow home to fighting Sickleflies. Oh, the honour. But yeah, okay, here we go. So, watch up here as the Wrath builds. Now, unfortunately, you can skin change, but you only got one ability that starts here. Oh, sorry, I made a slight mistake earlier. Skin change doesn't... Yeah, there we go. So, sorry, I got confused earlier. Told you I was learning with you. Thrash costs 5 Wrath, so you still need to have a decent amount of Wrath built up. When you skin change, you can't skin change without at least 1 Wrath being there, so you can't just move from human to bear all on your own. You have to have Wrath within you. And being in bear form removes at least 3 Wrath every 3 seconds, so if you think of it as a Wrath per second. So I would say if you're going to end up with a Thrash using 5, and you lose 3 every 3 seconds, you don't really want to be bothering to skin change till about 15, maybe 20 Wrath. Others may disagree. But yeah, let's see how this works out. Now you've got to be quite close to get in with the axe here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill that one, but then we can skin change and start to bat these away with our paws. Now as you can see, the damage dealt is significantly more as a bear than it is as a human. So your thrash ability here deals about 20 damage, whereas your actual weapons, certainly with this NAF starting weapon, you have 7 to 9 and 10 to 12, so you need to be doing 2 at least of these to equate to 1 thrash. So your damage is much higher as a bear than it is as a human, which makes sense if you are channeling your wrath in order to prove your strength in battle. Four more Sickleflies, and then we are done. I could have stayed in bear form. I think I wasn't quite close enough. Ah, no, I ran out of wrath. That's right. So because thrash here requires 5 wrath, I got down to 4 up here, therefore rendering me unable to do anything. So that's the important thing. You have to build up a decent amount of wrath before you can stay in bear form to deal a decent amount of damage. So let's just kill another. So we've got 17, 14 wrath. Let's kill another one of these, just using hammer, and then, or using the axe. You see, now I've got 26. Unfortunately, with that cooldown of 3 a second, you soon, 3 every 3 seconds, you soon lose it. But I was able to take down that Sicklefly, as ignoble as that is, pretty quickly in bear form. So here's its Langhar.
Most afternoons you spend daydreaming in the sun. What is different today?
I did not think to see you again today, my sister. Most afternoons you spend daydreaming in the sun with Sturkest. What's different about this day? You tell Lankar that Radagast the wizard has paid a visit to Grimbeorn, and that Offlemoth set you to fighting the Sickleflies for practice. Your sister smirks and adopts a gruff, snarly voice. Fight! Roar! Battle! Growl! The line of Beorn is the finest of all. She booms in a passable impression of Offlemoth. Yeah. Well, she made herself laugh if nothing else. I think Offlemoth could stand to brood less upon our mighty heritage and more time helping out. Will you accompany me, Ezilv? I am nearly ready to return. Now, on my first run, I nearly got this one killed. So let's try not to do that this time. So again, she agrees that Radagast would not have left his home in Mirkwood unless there was a serious reason for it. The Carrock. I know you and Sturkis often climb the carved steps and stand atop that summit. Do you think you will go beyond the Carrock and cross the river one day? I think one day you will. I don't see Standing Stone allowing me to stay in this game, in this region for very long. What do you think? It's a very pretty starter region, though. Something is not right. Can you feel it? Goblins of Attack. Oh, I've got pinned, but I was pressing something wrong. Hurry back to the lodge and tell them that we are under attack. I'll stay here and deal with any goblins lurking around. I did better that time round. I thought I was doing something wrong with the when I got pinned, but that's that annoying goblin net. Shall we kill a few more goblins on the way through? Why not? Unfortunately, with this dissipation of wrath in inactivity, running between mobs soon loses you some. It really does. There we go. Excuse the tutorial things. Okay, let's go and finish this region. And I got stuck here before. One thing you will eventually learn with my videos is I am really pants at map reading. Even simple maps. So that has got me into all sorts of trouble through the various regions of LOTRO. So be patient. I'll do my best not to get lost too often. Okay. Goblin carpet. Go and tell Grimbeorn that we have goblins. Of course we saw them before him. Ha 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 ha. What has happened? I heard fighting.
That is very peculiar.
Beorn put the fear of our kind into the goblins when he stalked these vales, and we have done our part to maintain their terror of us, have we not? What could make them think to stray again to this side of the river? Might be something to do with us daydreaming and thinking airy thoughts. Who knows? Okay, so we now have to listen to Radagast. Our sister was not hurt, was she? Hurt, but still alive. That's all that matters. Sometimes goblins have thick skulls, and she may carelessly chip a tooth or a nail. Bit condescending. Better tell Grimbeorn. Tell me what? Goblins! The goblins dare to attack us! It is as I told you, Grimbeorn. A dark power is rising once more, sending forth its evil. Animals, plants, all living things are threatened. My family is strong, Radagast. We do not fear goblins. They feared my father Beorn, and they fear me. Not enough, apparently. They will fear my children in time. I thought I could remain in isolation as well, but this time that is folly. I must bring warnings to the folk we can trust, wizards, elves, dwarves, rangers, but I cannot be everywhere, Grimbeorn. I came to you because I need the message delivered quickly. Send all your children. Sturkist wants to go. Nice gentle fathering there. Be silent! I will spare only one of my line, Radagast. I will send Ezil with your message. That's not fair! And in a great mood, he turns into a bear. Clearly, what he was told made him have enough wrath to change into a bear. He was that grumpy.
I have made my decision.
Yes, young one.
Leave our land and bring a message of warning.
There we go. I have made my decision. You will leave this sheltered land and bring a message of warning where the wizard believes it must go. I long thought our folk could remain separate from the other peoples, as my father wished, but these are no longer those days. Perhaps I will send others in the days ahead, but for now you will represent the line of Beorn in the wider world. Act with strength and clarity of purpose, Ezilf, and let all who see you say, "There goes a woman of Beorn's line. Cross her at your peril." I do not believe in long farewells, young one. Learn your task from the wizard, say goodbye to your siblings, and bring no disfavour upon our line. No pressure.
Good, good, good.
Radagast said, I was worried that Grimbeorn would not see the urgency of this matter, but reason has won out. I've always had a way with bears and beasts, and, well, you see, never mind. Never mind. Not important. Radagast's ditziness. A dark power is rising, Azil. I cannot put a name to it, if indeed it has a name, but something has unsettled the natural world. I will seek the greatest of the 5 wizards, for he has made a study of many things unknown to me, and may know what is happening. I want you to seek out someone else. He is a ranger, his name is Aragorn. He has been enmeshed in the affairs of wizards for some time now, and if the rumblings I sense are a real danger as I fear, I know that Aragorn must take this special care not to fall prey to them. The last I heard he was travelling through Breland, beyond the mountain. So now I have to speak to Sturkist and convince him not to remain a sulking bear. Sturkist growls you in the language of bearkind, but the words you speak are filled with affection. He bristles, and finally relents. Do not mind me, Azilv, I am happy for you. Honest. It will not be long before I convince Grimbeorn to allow me such a journey as well. Until then, farewell. And Lankar?
Did I not tell you your time would come?
Perhaps I am as much a wizard as Radagast himself, Lankar laughs cheerily. No, that's not what I want. I want to explore the lands beyond our home, Azilv, as you are about to do. I want to seek adventure. I will follow you sooner rather than later, Azilv, I assure you. Until we meet again, sister, find this ranger, deliver Radagast's message, and do not have your fill of adventure before Sturkist and I can join you. We will see you again soon.
You will need to prepare for the journey, yes?
It's a long way to Eriador and you'll need some supplies. Yes, you will need some supplies. It says speak to Grimbeorn and he should give you what you need.
I will give you what you need for your journey.
See? Almost to the word. And you get some good starter stat armor to get started. So what you get from this is, because you've not had any gear drops, and I doubt anything's come from loot from this start, not even from the goblins. So, first headpiece, a ring of vitality here with just 1 on it, You'll notice with some of these bits you were given, they have minimum levels. Now what I've found with this, with Beorning as opposed to any other, is that because it's such a short region, I don't level very far, so I've managed to level to 3, whereas in other regions you can easily get to, say, 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes depending on how much you focus. But once you hit Archit, you hit level 5, basically. So there's no need to worry about that, but you do want to actually equip this lot as soon as you hit level 4 and 5. Let's speak to the pony. Obviously, you prepared for the journey, and it's now time to leave the land of your home in search of the Ranger Aragorn. And here we are in Archit. And you can see, although I didn't actually complete something particularly here, I'm now level 6, which allows me then to equip all the other items that are level locked. So we can have the knife, and what was the other things that were level locked here? The boots, shoulders, no, we can get rid of those. Head, I've already got the right one on. Cape, yep. And that's pretty much it for this. So there we go. That's the start of the Beorning storyline. I will be back on my male one that we created in the first video next time round, but I just wanted to run through that starter area without the FPS issues that I had before. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and we'll learn more together about the Beorning when we meet again. Take care.